Everyone believes sleep exists for rest. They're all mistaken. At least, that's what one man discovered. A man who spent 40 years proving that sleep isn't a pause. It's humanity's most wasted, hidden resource. Today, a small circle of people use his method to unlock creativity, problem-solving ability, emotional clarity, and capacities that feel dangerously close to the supernatural. But how do you reclaim 1/3 of your life and turn it into a machine that makes you sharper, faster, more alive? We take you by the hand, straight down the rabbit hole, into a matrix that actually exists, designed for every human being, yet invisible to almost all of them. Most people don't even know where the door is, and even fewer hold the key that opens this inner cosmos. While the world dismissed dreams as nothing more than mental noise, he asked the forbidden question: can we become conscious inside the dream? The moment he answered it, everything changed. The Forbidden Experiment. Scientist, Stanford PhD, scientific rebel, and the father of modern lucid dreaming. He wasn't interested in repeating what others believed about sleep. He wanted proof, real proof, something measurable, testable, undeniable. While most researchers treated dreams as a biological byproduct, he suspected they were something far more, a hidden layer of consciousness that no one had dared to investigate seriously. He didn't want theories, he wanted verification, evidence, not tradition, experience, not assumption.
And the path to that evidence led him toward an experiment that no one in the scientific community expected him to attempt or wanted him to succeed at.
Meet Dr. Stephen LaBerge and the beginning of the Forbidden Experiment. 1977, a sleep laboratory. Dark, sterile, still. LaBerge enters the room with one single goal: to prove that a human being can wake up inside a dream, with awareness, with precision, with control. The problem? No one believed him. Because how do you prove consciousness when the body is paralyzed by REM sleep? The answer was hidden in the smallest loophole of human biology: the eyes. The code from the dream world. He trained for weeks, then months, night after night, slipping into the same question: can consciousness survive inside a dream? He wasn't guessing, he was preparing. Every evening he fell asleep with one intention, sharp as a blade. When the dream begins, I wake up inside it, and then, one night, it happened. Clarity, inside the dream. He remembered the plan, he remembered the signal, he remembered the laboratory waiting for proof. Inside the dream world, he pushed his awareness into his eyes. Left, right, a coded message from another reality. In the real world, the machines spiked, perfectly synchronized. Not random, not REM flicker, not noise. Conscious, deliberate, intentional movement. A human being had just sent a signal from inside a dream. In that moment, an invisible wall collapsed. The dream was no longer a locked chamber. It was a second state of consciousness, reachable, measurable, provable. And he wasn't afraid. He was electrified. Because if you can send a message out of a dream, what else can you do inside it? When dreams become tools. Everything changed after that signal. Suddenly the world wanted to listen. Artists used lucid dreams to pull out ideas that waking life kept buried. Athletes rehearsed movements in the dream world and woke up better in the real one. Psychologists guided patients into dreams to reshape fear, face trauma, confront shadows, without danger, without shame. Because the truth was undeniable. To the brain, the dream is simply another reality. Neural pathways firing, motor cortex activating, memory circuits rewriting, skills imprinting. Everything you do in a lucid dream is stored in the brain as if it actually happened. The dream was no longer a story, it was a function, a tool, a simulator where consciousness and imagination merged, not as fantasy, but as neuropsychology. And humanity had finally been handed the keys. What a lucid dream really is. A lucid dream begins with a shock of clarity. One moment you are a passenger, the next moment you realize, wait, this is not real. This is a dream. But you don't wake up, you stay, and you take the controls with full awareness. Inside a lucid dream, your inner world becomes a playground. You can fly, revisit your past, rehearse speeches, confront fears safely, explore ideas, enter your subconscious, face the parts of yourself you usually avoid. In a lucid dream, the mind isn't just imagining, it is building. The active brain of the night. Why is any of this possible? Because your brain at night isn't resting. It is almost as active as when you're awake. But in a lucid dream, something extraordinary happens. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic, decision, and awareness, switches back on. You become awake inside a world your brain is generating in real time. It is a simulator. But you aren't the player. You are the programmer. WILD, wild, falling asleep while awake. LaBerge discovered a technique that feels like science fiction. Wild, wake-initiated lucid dreaming. You let your body fall asleep while your consciousness stays awake. You witness the border between reality and dream from the outside. Shapes flicker, light returns, sounds rise from silence. The world dissolves, and a new one forms. You don't stumble into it, you enter it deliberately. You step into the dream with your eyes open. Why people use lucid dreams? Lucid dreams are not entertainment. They are precision tools, mental environments where skill, emotion, and imagination become trainable. People use them to practice job interviews, confront fear without danger, refine athletic movements, break creative blocks, test business ideas, explore emotional wounds, create art, and speak to their inner child. History is full of breakthroughs born from dreams. Nikola Tesla visualized inventions in complete detail before touching a machine. Einstein imagined light bending long before he proved it. Paul McCartney heard "Yesterday" in his sleep before he played a single note. These were not accidents. They were glimpses into the same mental space we all carry. LaBerge simply gave us the method to reach it intentionally. The 5-step method. Lucid dreaming is not magic. It is training. A protocol for reclaiming the hours normally lost to unconscious sleep. Most people believe dreams just happen to them. They don't. You can teach the mind to recognize itself while dreaming. The framework that reliably induces lucidity is simple. Dream recall, reality checks, mild, wake back to bed, wild. These steps teach one truth. Awareness can follow you into the dream state. This isn't spirituality, it's neuropsychology, and the science proved it. At Stanford, lucid dreamers clenched a fist inside a dream, and the motor cortex lit up exactly as if the movement occurred in waking life. No noise, no ambiguity. The dream is training, with real effects on the brain. Dream hacking. Dream hacking is what happens after you become lucid. It is the deliberate use of the dream as a mental instrument, a lab, a mirror, a training ground, a second world you can enter on purpose. Inside this space, people work on healing, creativity, mastery, identity, consciousness. For centuries, humanity believed these states required psychedelics, rituals, gurus, or altered states. They don't. The most advanced technology you will ever own is the one inside your skull.
Lucid dreaming is simply the interface, the doorway into deeper layers of the mind that are normally hidden.
You don't need psychedelics. You don't need gurus. You don't need VR. You only need to remember how to access the power that was already yours. The other half of consciousness. You spend 1/3 of your life asleep. 25 years, maybe. Why spend that time unconscious in a world that belongs to you? In your dreams lie answers, ideas, fears, visions, portals. Not out there, inside. Sleep was never rest. It was the other consciousness, the one no one taught you to use. LaBerge proved something extraordinary. Dreams are not escape. They are expansion. You don't need to run from the world to change yourself. You just need to wake up inside your own.